A cloud of suspicion surrounds the deaths of Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife, whose bodies were found in their Santa Fe home.
Gene Hackman's final phone call has revealed yet another shocking layer to the mystery surrounding his and his wife's death. What's even more unsettling is he sounded fearful, almost desperate, as if he knew something was coming. And the person he was talking to, was he scared of them? February 26, 2025 was just another ordinary day for two maintenance workers heading to Gene Hackman's Santa Fe mansion for some routine repairs. Nothing out of the ordinary. That is, until they arrive. The front door is unlocked. That alone is strange because Hackman was known to be extremely private. A locked up, well-secured home was just normal for him. But that day, the house was eerily quiet and something just didn't feel right. Inside, investigators found 95-year-old Gene Hackman lifeless near the back door, his cane and sunglasses nearby. His wife, Betsy Arakawa, 65, lay in the bathroom with scattered pills.
They're taken for Santa Fe Summit up here about past 10,000 ways. I think we just found one deceased person inside the house. What's the address here? There's no address. There's no address. I'm going to wait for you at the gate. I'm going to wait for you to please send somebody really quick.
A tipped-over space heater, an unfed dead dog, and eerie silence suggested something had been wrong for a while. But what? But here's the biggest clue. One of two green cell phones was found near Hackman's body. The last outgoing call? Made just hours before his estimated time of death. Who did he call? What was said? And most importantly, was someone on the other end of that line the key to this whole mystery? That's where things take a whole new turn. The last call was placed at 10:17 p.m. on February 25th, the night before everything unraveled. Hackman dialed a number saved as LR, a contact that no one in his family seems to recognize. Who is LR? A longtime friend? A Hollywood insider? Someone from his past? And why had Hackman never mentioned this person before? The call lasted exactly 6 minutes and 43 seconds. Not a casual check-in, but not a long, drawn-out conversation either. Just enough time to say something important, something urgent. Investigators managed to retrieve partial transcripts, but the audio isn't crystal clear. Some words are muffled, some sentences cut off. But what is clear is Hackman's tone, and that's where things get chilling. He sounds distressed, almost panicked. And then this. I told you, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. If they find out, it's over. What does that even mean? What didn't he want to be part of? Who was they? And find out what exactly? Then there's another pause before he says something else. She doesn't know yet. I can't tell her. Not now. And let me remind you, his cause of death was heart attack.
The cause of death for Mr. Gene Hackman, aged 95 years, is hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, with Alzheimer's disease as a significant contributory factor.
She doesn't know yet. Betsy? Was he keeping something from her? Something serious enough that he was hesitating to say it out loud? The call ends abruptly. No follow-up, no additional calls, just silence. And then, hours later, both of them are found dead. It's the last recorded moment of Gene Hackman reaching out to someone. And now, that someone, LR, is the only person who might have any idea what was really happening in Hackman's final hours. But here's the thing. No one knows who LR is. No one has come forward. And why would they?
Our investigation shows that all the last known communication and activity from Ms. Arakawa was on February 11th.
That phone call alone changes everything about this case. But when investigators start digging further, things only get more confusing. A monthly planner is found in the kitchen. A bunch of dates have initials next to them, except for February 25th and 26th. Those days, completely blank. Why? Were they erased? Or did Hackman already know something was coming? And then there's the money. $247,000 transferred to an offshore account, just days before his death. That's not pocket change. That's a deliberate move. But for what? Was he paying someone off? Moving money for security? Was someone threatening him? Or is it completely unrelated and just a bizarre coincidence? Because honestly, at this point, everything about this case is bizarre. And what's up with the two green cell phones? Only one was actually used in the months leading up to Hackman's death. The second one? Barely any activity. Was it a burner phone, a backup, or something he was keeping hidden? And if so, why? No signs of forced entry, no signs of struggle. And yet, the front door was open. Not unlocked, open. That changes the picture entirely. Did someone leave in a hurry? Did Hackman open the door for someone he trusted? Or worse, was someone inside before all of this happened? The toxicology reports are still pending. No immediate signs of foul play, but the deeper tests take time. Could there have been a drug interaction? Something undetectable at first glance? And then there's what his close friends were saying. Hollywood insiders had started noticing a change in Hackman in the months before his death. He had become more paranoid, talking about the past in a way that made it seem like he was trying to bury something, erase something, or forget something. But what?
Examination of the brain showed advanced Alzheimer's disease, as well as blood vessel changes in the brain secondary to chronic high blood pressure. Laboratory testing.
And then there's the last grocery delivery, over a week before their deaths. That's unusual. They weren't known for being completely isolated. So had something already started to happen before the 25th? Were they actively avoiding people? Or was there some other reason why they didn't need or want food deliveries anymore? There's just too much that doesn't make sense. A final phone call that sounds like a warning. A missing person from Hackman's contact list. A mysterious money transfer. A house left in a state that suggests something happened over time. Not all at once. None of it lines up. And none of it feels like a simple, tragic accident. There are too many ways this could have played out. The accidental overdose theory suggests Betsy, in distress, may have taken too much medication, or mixed the wrong ones. Did Hackman find her, spiral into shock, and attempt to get help, but never make it? His cane and sunglasses left nearby suggest he was mid-action. Then there's the suicide pact theory, which raises even more questions. If planned, why were they in separate locations? Did one hesitate? The dehydrated state of their bodies suggests this wasn't sudden. Something had been unfolding over time, unnoticed by the outside world. And then there's the final phone call. Hackman sounded distressed, urgent. The words, "I told you, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. If they find out, it's over." What did that mean? Was someone threatening him? Did he know something that put him in danger? And if so, why didn't he call 911 or a close family member? He called LR instead, a name that no one recognizes, someone who has never come forward. The timing of that call is crucial. It wasn't a random chat. It wasn't meaningless. Hackman had something important to say, and he chose that moment, just hours before his death, to say it. But why? And then there's the money. $247,000 transferred to an offshore account just days before his death. That is not a normal move. That's not a random expense. That is someone trying to move money fast, either to hide it, protect it, or get it into the hands of someone else. Could Hackman have been pressured, blackmailed? Could someone have demanded the money, and when it wasn't enough, things escalated? The Hollywood cover-up theory raises bigger questions. Gene Hackman's career spanned decades, entangling him with powerful people and buried secrets. What if, at 95, he was ready to talk, just to someone close, but someone found out? That final phone call, was it the moment he realized he'd gone too far? That's what makes the Hollywood reactions even more interesting. Some people spoke out right away. Clint Eastwood, 94 years old, said, "Strange, not how I imagined he'd go." That's an odd thing to say. Not tragic, not heartbreaking, strange. What did he mean? Morgan Freeman's reaction was even more direct. Gene had secrets, but none that should have led to this. None that should have, but maybe some that did. And then there's his daughter, Elizabeth Hackman. She revealed something that completely changes the way we look at this. He stopped talking about the past, like he wanted to erase something. What was he trying to erase? Was it something he regretted, or something he was afraid of? What's also strange is who didn't say anything at all. Some of Hollywood's biggest names, people who had worked with Hackman for decades, remained completely silent. No public tributes, no statements, nothing. Why? Was it just grief? Or was it avoidance? If there's nothing suspicious about Hackman's death, then why does it feel like some people don't want to touch this story at all? And then there's the media. Some outlets immediately pushed the natural causes narrative, even before the investigation was complete. But independent investigators, journalists who don't follow the Hollywood playbook, weren't convinced. They kept digging. Why was the front door left open? Why was Hackman's final call ignored by official reports? Why did no one claim to know who LR was? And of course, the authorities haven't said much. The only official statement so far? This case remains under active investigation. That's it. No confirmation, no denial, just ongoing silence. That could mean they don't have answers yet, or it could mean they have them and don't want to share them. And that's where this whole thing becomes one giant question mark. What was Gene Hackman trying to avoid? What was the one thing that had him sounding so panicked in his final call? Who was LR? And why has no one stepped forward to explain the conversation? Why were Hackman and Betsy in different rooms, as if something happened separately but within the same timeline? And the security footage, why was 2 days' worth erased? Hackman had cameras in his home, but when investigators checked, the system had been wiped for February 25th and 26th. Not disabled, not broken, deleted. That doesn't happen by accident. Someone went in and erased everything from the exact 2 days when this entire mystery unfolded. And we still don't even have the final autopsy and toxicology results. Could there be something in Hackman's system that no one expected? Something that wouldn't normally show up right away? Are they waiting for the moment when the case is officially closed before revealing the truth? Or will they ever reveal it at all? Subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's biggest unsolved cases.